Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video. We're Stevie here back with episode 2 of covering the new F1 2021 content. Yes, finally, IMOLA, as I'm sure you guys are all aware, has been released on F1 2021. Of course, we made a video on Portimao last month. Obviously, it is insane that coders are giving us these new tracks on F1 2021. But of course, this update featured a couple of other little things as well that I will be going over the weekend as well for you guys as well. But of course, yeah, the big centerpiece, of course, being IMOLA, has now dropped on the game as well there. Of course, we've also got the right Red Bull. I'm not going to do our last question mark race in this video in the Red Bull because otherwise it's going to be exactly the same footage as everyone else is doing there. But you can see a good little look around the car there. I must admit, I'm actually a bigger fan of it in the game than I really was in real life, to be honest. I feel like there was just a few subtle tweaks they could have made to make the car in real life just look a little bit better, but we won't get into that too much today. Of course, we want to take this thing to Imola. 3 miles, a lap record of a 1:15.4 in real life there, 19 corners, obviously. I've driven this track a lot on things like iRacing as well in the past. A massive thank you as well before we jump into this for 21,000 subscribers as well. You guys are just ridiculous, but yeah, let's get on then and head to Imola. Right, here we are then, ready for my very first lap here of Imola on F1 2021. Like I said, I've definitely driven this track a lot in the past, so I certainly know my way around here. But how are we going to cope on this game then? Activate the ZRS as you head out the final corner. Oh, the start-finish line is nowhere near where it is on iRacing, so we've got to make sure we're careful of that when we try and do some qualifying runs. There was trying to give ourselves the longest run down towards the start-finish line there, but of course that was not the case. 4th gear through turn 1 and turn 2 there, through Tamburello on the exit as well. Obviously so easy in something like a GT3 car to just over-tip the rear end into these corners, but obviously Formula 1 cars, especially the likes of the Red Bull as well, have just got so much rear end grip. It actually makes this track, yeah, a lot less challenging than you find on some other games as well then. Not sure, a weird note, I'm a fan of the map rotation as well then. Normally, yeah, I must admit, that's quite a weird angle in my personal opinion there. But anyway, so far so good as we head down through the most difficult corner of the lap, in my opinion. Again there, if you're in something like a GT3 car, back end always trying to step round on you. But obviously everything made a lot easier in a Formula 1 car there. Through the chicane, surprised that's not a track limits violation, but we did lose a lot of time on the exit as well. But I mean, Imola, yeah, has always got so much flow and everything like that, so not surprising that immediately it feels really satisfying to get our first lap under our belt here, all nicely hooked up. Doesn't quite have the same sort of challenge as Portimao. Obviously, all the blind corners around there really did make that place an absolute roller coaster. But yeah, Imola, a lot more sort of mainstream in games and things like that as well, of course, made famous. Let's be real, just down to the sheer nature of how dangerous it was, of course. Legendary driver in Senna, of course, losing his life around this track nearly 30 years ago now. And of course, Roland Ratzenberger as well, many forgotten, lost his life, of course, just a day before Ayrton did as well. As yeah, this place certainly has a name of infamy in the motorsport world as well there. But like always though, I think we're going to try and just buckle down, get a few laps under our belt, of course, before we jump into a last to first there. Of course, I'll give you guys a hot lap of the track as well. I'm going to try and avoid FOM copyright claims and include the wheel cam for this one as well. But let's see if we can nail the chicane second time through. Obviously, really want to attack the curbs through there. Really fun when you do launch it in there, but that was, again, a bit too optimistic that time round. Yeah, let's get our head down, see if we can really try and hunt some good times. I reckon we can probably get close to a 15 here. We might be able to get towards that lap record. While coming towards the end then of our first sort of proper lap in anger here through the final double 90-degree left-handers. Oh, back in, tried to tip round on me there slightly. As we head back up towards the line there, it's immediately going to be down into the low 116s.
Was a 1 minute 16.2.
But I mean, yeah, Imola has just got so many history. Pretty much every corner around this lap, obviously notable moments from just Formula 1 in the past. Of course, Senna through the first couple of corners there, obviously back when he was just one flat-out left-hand sweeper. Obviously, Roland Ratzenberger as well through the next couple of corners there as we tip it through. Again, this was just a flat right in towards the hairpin there. The iconic scenes and comments of Juan Pablo Montoya versus Michael Schumacher through the hairpin there. You had to be blind or stupid not to see me. God, we need some Montoya characters back in Formula 1. Of course, the heartbreak for George Russell last season of dropping it through these next couple of corners there. And of course, drivers making mistakes there. I think it was Latifi on lap 1 as well through here this season. Of course, yeah, spinning around and then immediately taking out Nikita Mazepin as they headed back up the hill there. Of course, Tsunoda's mistake and Lando Norris's lap invalidation, as well as you head through the exit of the chicane there, as we're going to invalidate another lap as well there. And of course, down in towards the final couple of corners, Alain Prost spinning it before the race had even begun here as well there. And as we head through the final couple of turns as well, so many more memories that I'm sure I've forgotten from this game. Of course, the track used to bend over that way, head through a tight chicane there and come back out ready for the start-finish line across there. It really has changed Imola over the years as well, obviously in a constant push to make the place a more safer venue so we can get it back on the Formula 1 calendar as well there. And it does look like there's more and more talks that it could become a permanent fixture again in Formula 1 as well. They're not the best for these sorts of cars, but maybe if the new regs work as intended, this place can really become, yeah, a track that you can look forward to, an action-packed race year in, year out, and you don't need the weather to come into effect there. Let's see if I can try and get down into the 115s. Oh, that curb. It definitely can't take as much of that as I thought. I honestly thought those sausage curbs just did nothing on F1 2021 there, but that really tried to shut the back end around, as is that one, but you can get away with them by the looks of it. Well, that's going to be a pretty good lap then, a 1:15.774 there. Definitely feel that we could get a bit closer to that lap record. I'm intrigued to see what the top times already are on day 1 here. But yeah, we're going to do a last question mark challenge though here as Turkish Grand Prix driver of the day. Carlos Sainz, Ferrari, Imola. Does it get more iconic than that? Let's quickly have a look at those time trial times though. Oh, I'm not what I used to be on the F1 games, I tell you what, they're a 1:13.4. He's using brake assist though, so that doesn't really count, but then even then, yeah, 1:13s are the times that top players are really running now as well. But again, I'm not on a time trial setup or anything like that, but yeah, the F1 players have just got so fast in recent years. Yeah, like I said though, let's get into this last question mark challenge. Imola, not an easy track to overtake at, so we'll see what we can do.
It's time to hit the track then as we embark upon another round of thrilling Formula 1 racing here at Imola. Welcome to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. A lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most of the Formula 1 circuits, will take our drivers around 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin at turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Lando Norris and Leclerc, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Gasly and Esteban Ocon, Tsunoda, Vettel, Lance Stroll and Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Russell, Nicholas Latifi and Mick Schumacher. Mazepin and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, well here we are then, on the grid, ready for the Italian, well, not the Italian Grand Prix, it's the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edina Ferrari here at Imola. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to diving into this one though here today. We're gonna go, we've got to go alternate strat surely in a race like this. It just makes sense. Hopefully then we can be really quick later on. We can really try and fight our way back through the order as well. There were only 16 laps. For some reason I had it in my head that it would be more around this circuit as well though. But of course, yes, so high speed as so many classic tracks were as well. I just wish, absolutely wish we still have the classic cars in F1 2021, because I think ragging an F2004 around here, oh, that would have been beautiful. But we can dream. Only we can dream at this point. Let's dive in though here in the last question mark challenge. Let me know down in the comments below where you think I'll finish. 5 red lights. And it's the lights out. And away we go. Not the worst start I've had on F1 2021 by any stretch there, as everyone tries to sneak their way down towards turn 1. 2 wide is really as best as you're going to be able to get here. Certainly don't want to be 3 wide through this first chicane. There is already a bit of Constantina and up.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Top tip number 1 on F1 2021. Don't do that. Right, we'll pretend nothing happened there as we head back down towards turn 1 for definitely the first time here in the Italian Grand Prix. Well, not the Italian Grand Prix. I'm going to keep calling it that. You guys are just going to have to accept that over the course of this video. Let's see if we can make it through more than one corner this time round there as we try and get a switchback on Mazepin. Oh, he's already going defensive on us. The AI love a bit of a defensive manoeuvre at the start here. How do they handle with humans there? They seem to have actually been trained quite well this weekend. I thought there'd be a big squeeze on the second part of the corner there, but already around the key to Mazepin. Is Schumacher going to squeeze us out the same way his dad did to Montoya? No. Mick Schumacher there, clearly not as blind as his father, I'm sure Juan Pablo Montoya would say. Watching that moment there, around the outside we go though, at the top of the hill there. That was a good little ding-dong with it. Mick Schumacher off the start of this Grand Prix. Like always, running Ultimate AI for this one as well. There's again a little bit squirrely at the bottom of the hill there, but as we head up in towards the chicane, of course, not many opportunities are going to open up for moves here, so we've really got to take every opportunity we can get early on here, and I think, yeah, the big chance will, of course, be the huge run back down towards turn 1 here, but up 2 places pretty much immediately, though, here at Imola, and of course, yeah, really want to try and get around those Haas cars so you can really then start to focus on making your way through the field there. Hamilton leads the way at the end of lap 1. Can we get a run, though, on Latifi as we head back down towards turn 1 there, sweeping to the outside, big squeeze towards the wall there. Schumacher Barrichello-esque as we head back down in towards the first corner there. Who's going to break later into the Tamburello chicane right on the outside? It's often a dangerous place, as Hamilton found out in the real Grand Prix this year. But we're now over to P17 off the start. Gravel is so close to the exit corners there, you really just can't risk taking a lot of curb, as DRS now enabled in the Grand Prix. Closing in on George Russell there, but yeah, now that should give us a big helping hand.
With their car, they're going to be slow.
And of course, Antonio Giovinazzi, who's got 2 home Grand Prix here, already with issues early on. Yellow flags out. Oh, Latifi's gone. What's happened to him? Heading back down towards turn 1, and he's got Mick Schumacher having a look up the inside, in towards the first braking zone. Latifi tries to hold it around the outside. Oh, gets the same squeeze as Hamilton did in real life there. Can't correct after the contact. And that's Latifi rounding into the Armco. I think what I always find weird about the chicane there is the fact the first part is actually not as tight as the second. You've really got to try and get the car rotated around the second part down the hill. Through there, but can we get a good run on Russell and Giovinazzi out of the final corner? Of course, the Williams not a bad car down the straightaways, and look at that, Giovinazzi, a city duck in front of the pair of us here, or not in front of the pair of us anymore. There is 3 wide briefly as we head back down towards turn 1 there. Russell tried to give us a big old squeeze right around the outside the wall. Russell, he knocked our rear wheel there, and both Williams have gone round in a lap there. No idea why that's a warning for us. Russell clipped the inside curb and pinged out into me. But yeah, Williams, there he goes from bad to worse early on there, as now we got to try and close it to Kimi. Still think one of the best moments from Imola was actually when they announced the track being returning in 2020. All the drivers reacting to old footage here, and of course all the younger drivers absolutely loving scenes of the old V10 races here. And then you just had Kimi Räikkönen going, I remember that one. I was leading this until the engine blew up. It was just such a great moment of seeing genuine emotion, I think, more than anything else, from Kimi Räikkönen there. And it is going to be a shame to see him go at the end of the year. But what might be slightly less of a shame is seeing this in his rearview mirrors in just a moment, if we can get a good run on him back down the start-finish straight as we head through the final couple of turns, or a bit wide through the final corner. There, dip a wheel in the gravel again there as we just try to work out the limits of this track. But this car,
the car in front, try to keep this momentum.
Yep, we'll have a look straight around the outside of Kimi Räikkönen there, back down towards turn 1. Again, it's going to be pretty even as we get to the braking zone there, but we do get the car around the outside. Now with a P14 here at Imola as Kimi, I thought we might get a run back on us then. But a couple of seconds to the guys in front, but there is really a big train. Pretty much, yeah, all the way up to the lead. I've just realised as well as we come towards the end of lap 7, it's not long before we pit here, and I've got exactly no idea where we need to think about braking for the pit lane entry, so we're going to have to wait and see if we get that hooked up. Purple through the final sector though, so we're definitely finding a bit more pace in the car there. But yeah, the gap not really coming down to the guys in front, but again, we're going to be a lot quicker soon. Now, seemingly out of nowhere, we're starting to take a lot of time out of the guys in front, so no idea what's going on, whether that's just their tyres have died or what, but suddenly, yeah, we've taken 2 seconds out of Sebastian Vettel in front of us on this lap. Do we pit now? I think Charles Leclerc might be the one boxing at the end of this one. Yeah, he is, so we need to stay out one more lap then. So we're going to do just under half a race on the softer tyres there. We should therefore be able to gain a bit of an advantage. I'm at a 7th place at the moment, but boxing the end of this one. New track, and F1 2021 still doesn't want to let me have fun. DRS failure, come on, it's like a Grand Prix mode. Nothing matters here, and you're still doing that. Right, well, so I start getting annoyed about F1 conspiracy theories I'm building up in my own head. Let's wait and see if we can actually nail the pit entry here. We've got Seb and Alonso, 2 of the most experienced drivers on the grid just in front of us. But of course, even Sebastian Vettel has never done a Grand Prix, obviously apart from last year here. Oh, perfect! We nailed that accidentally because I was trying to avoid 7 in front of us there, so I'll take that rather happily. As we head down the pit lane here, everyone peeling in to their box. We need a nice, clean, tidy stop though. There we go. Oh, we've jumped. No, we haven't jumped Seb. Esports mode apparently has been enabled there, so Seb will come out just in front of us. But we're gonna be, I think we are gonna be up the order there. We've got Aston Martin of Stroll, as well as Ocon and Tsunoda heading back down towards turn 1. And we're just going to come out behind those guys there as Ocon and Stroll side by side in towards the first corner. Ocon's completely mugged the Canadian off there, up into P11 of the race. But yeah, we are now right with this cluster of cars. Points are definitely available. We've really got to try and switch on these soft tyres as soon as we possibly can, as we head back up the hill through Sector 2. We've got so much more grip than these guys. We did really struggle a bit on those medium tyres at the start of the race. Now all these guys have got to go through that pain. So we're not going to quite get close enough to Seb to have a send into the chicane. We are going to be all over his back end as we head out there, try and get the power down on the exit. We have got a good run on the exit of the corner there to the outside of Sebastian Vettel. As we head down in towards the final couple of corners of the lap, squeezes us onto the grass. We'll give him the room. Oh, a tiny bit of contact there.
You made it look easy.
As again, another car has nudged our rear wheel and gone round there. Sebastian Vettel, I'm sure he's not going to be happy with that one. We, of course, have got no DRS from all of this, so goodbye, Lance Stroll, as we head back down towards turn 1 there. Alonso having an absolute worldly of a battle with Yuki Tsunoda as well. In towards the first corner there. Might have just been a bit of contact there, but Tsunoda has to back out. And now, yeah, this battle really, really heating up at this stage of the day. Right, is it send time on Lance Stroll? Yes, it is. To the outside we go. Muscle our way around the outside there, and you can see how much more grip we've got at the moment. Lance Stroll been dispatched of, now into 12th. We're just getting runs everywhere. Esteban Ocon now as we head down the hill. No, never going to give us any room there. If we can do what we did to Seb though last time around and get a really good run. No idea why the AI struggles so much out of this chicane. Oh, there was a lot of curve that time around, but we are still going to slingshot ourselves. Hamilton, new fast lap of the Grand Prix as we head down the hill there, and again, Ocon really being brave with the squeeze there. Tries to keep the nose up the inside there, tries to really ram us wide. But again, round the outside of another car through the final couple of corners. Now we've got DRS again. Are we going to see Tsunoda trying to attack Alonso back in towards turn 1? The DRS just so powerful as he head back up in towards turn 1 here. Tsunoda around the outside of Alonso, and he's clear past him before they even hit the brakes. Come on then, Alonso, in your Alpine. Let's see what you got as we head out of the final corner there again. Just that gravel cuts back in right when I don't expect it to there, but we're again both going to get a big run on Tsunoda. We are going to go all 3 wide. No, not enough room there. Alonso just about slams the door there. We somehow still find ourselves on the inside of the fellow Spaniard there, and we've somehow pulled off a double move there. That was very, very scary stuff. Between the three of us, no one willing to give an inch, but fresher rubber, quicker rubber as well there. Now it's P9 there. We've got 5 seconds to Gasly.
5.3 seconds.
Thanks for that, Jeff, but only 4 laps to close up. Might just get him right by the end, but we're going to need some sweat mode. Well, we are taking a good second a lap out of Pierre Gasly at the moment. We're going to need a little bit more, though, with just 2 to go here from Imola. The AI have just got so much more top-end speed than ourselves, so I think they're just using a bit of overtake back down in towards turn 1. But Imola, what a track to race on this game in anger. Right, well, about to head on then to the final lap of this Imola. I was about to call it the Italian Grand Prix again, but yeah, what a track this is. And I must admit, F1 Codies, you have nailed these track models so far. Portimao and Imola have very immediately become 2 of my favourite races and tracks to race on the game as well. And of course, we are going to be adding both these tracks for Season 4 of the My Team career mode as well. There as we get a little bit loose and scary out through the first chicane there. But yeah, these 2 tracks will both be on our new season. Hence why I've been trying to sort of just pace the uploads recently to make sure this track was in the game ready for Season 4 as well there. So very, very excited, of course, for that as well over the coming weeks and months. But, I mean, yeah, 20th to 9th in the end here is not too shabby. Obviously doing slight there. Was that slightly better, or was it pretty much exactly the same as Sainz managed in the real Grand Prix of Turkey last weekend as well? That was sort of the inspiration I got for this one. That wasn't as very much Carlos Sainz-esque, but yeah, heading in towards the final couple of corners, though, of this race, it looks like it is going to be Lewis Hamilton who takes the dub here at Imola as well. There, I think it's Verstappen setting the fastest lap for P2. Perez in P3 there in the White Bulls as well, with Bottas 4th there. You can see the McLaren's held on 5th and 6th. Charles Leclerc 7th. Gasly 8th. Myself, Sainz in 9th. Alonso in 10th. Imola, your class.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and to stay out of trouble.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Carlos Sainz would be my first choice for this race. He had excellent race stamina, giving him the opportunity to charge through the ranks.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the Italian... the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I will get it right by the time we get here in Season 4 of our My Team career mode there. But like we said, Hamilton picks up the dub. Verstappen, Perez, Bottas, Norris, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Gasly, myself, Carlos Sainz getting the driver of the day. Once again, there are both Spaniards rounding out the top 10. But yeah, like I said, both Imola and Portimao have been such good additions to F1 2021. I'm hoping, I know there's a lot of hate for Jeddah at the moment, but I'm really hoping for whatever reason the track does work out on the game as well. I think it's going to be hell for ERS management, but we'll wait and see as to what happens, of course. Yeah, we will be back next month, though, with the review of that. Like I said, we have got a couple of other exciting videos as well coming up. We've actually got a new wheel unboxing that will hopefully be coming live at the start of next week as well there. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you all once again for 21,000 subscribers as well. I said 22k by the end of the year. Who knows what we might be able to achieve as well there. But yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more F1 2021 content. A massive thank you for the continued support from all our channel members. If you want to be featured in these end clips, make sure you click the join button down below. But yeah, once again, a massive thank you to The Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David, Ben, Aiden, F. Stathios, Cato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, and Mighty Spork for becoming channel members. The support is really, really appreciated.